I want to ask you about a leap of faith, but where does that? It's a belief.
You know, I had a recent week that didn't turn out so well, and despite good intentions and good efforts, and I use that old phrase, you know, no good deed goes unpunished. But I think that the reality is that when people apply hard work and whatever gifts that they have, whether you believe they come from a creator or from nature, and a good ethical compass, that those, it's only a matter of time before those yield results. And I think that one of the key things that the only thing that can undermine that is if you're doing something you're fundamentally not good at and unwilling to do what you need to get good at, and you're not doing something that you love. And I was lucky that to go into my own past, that unlike a lot of my fellow students that I learned in college, I had absolutely no pressure from my family, from my parents, to go into any particular profession. I was supposed to just find a profession that I had passion about and loved, and I thought that was what everyone got. I saw something very different at Cornell. So that you know, you can call that naive. You can call it a kind of a theory of achievement that is very limited, but it's fundamentally what I believe, and so I have to, then as now, I have to pick and choose what I do. But once you kind of grab onto something, as long as I don't make ethical compromises, as long as I don't kind of relax my work ethic, and as long as I don't lose my faith in it and my passionate belief in it, that it's only a matter of time before there's achievements that are, you know, probably beyond what I could have imagined. And I still believe that today when we start, you know, dreaming about what we want to make Grameen Foundation in the future. And I, not in any systematic way, but I try to attract people who, on some fundamental level, share that belief.
Hmm. In order to pursue that path, have you made any personal sacrifices, or have you taken any personal risks? So, for example, some executives who work up the ranks might risk a personal life to reach that achievement. Some artists, to pursue their passion, might risk financial security to pursue what they love. Anything like that happen in your life as you kind of think about the trade-offs of what to pursue and everything that you want to accomplish?
Well, a kind of a teacher of mine had kind of came up with a reflection on what it is to live life in a privileged society like ours, and, you know, not be at the bottom of the society. And there certainly is. And he said, you know, your reality of your life is, even if you play and lose, you're still in paradise. Right? So, on some fundamental way, I'm in a no-risk situation. If everything goes wrong, I'm still really okay. Certainly compared to the women that I interviewed for my book in Bangladesh. So there's you can feel guilty about that. You can feel exultant about it. You can feel it, but for me, it's really the truth. So it gives a certain freedom to take risks, and within that, and what by most people would consider sacrifice, I'm sure I've compared to some other paths. I've sacrificed income, and on 2 occasions, didn't draw salary for a time until I was able to, become a better fundraiser, a more successful fundraiser. Certainly, there are positions that I've taken in the microfinance field, which are, while consistent with Grameen values, have made me an unpopular person. within my professional colleagues, and yet I felt was really true to the Grameen spirit. And probably some, there have been, hobbies and friendships and family relationships I would have been able to explore more fully if I wasn't working, with the kind of the rigor that I have been. At the same time, particularly today, and with the help of mentors and with the assistance of my colleagues, I mean, frankly, I have a great marriage. I'm, financially secure to my standard. I'm healthy. I have hobbies, and I love my work. And I don't really feel like today, especially, I'm sacrificing anything. I think I'm exactly where I want to be. And but in the early days, because I wasn't as good as what I was doing, my priorities weren't as clear as they were today, and the Grameen Foundation was more fragile. Because of all those reasons, there were things that, by some standard, you could say was sacrifice, but by the standard that I think guides me, I was in such a secure position. The stakes for me were so low in some sense because of what I had been blessed with by my birth, and that I don't really think of it that way.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned hard work before, and I'm just wondering what you attribute your success to. It sounds like hard work, ethics, and pursuing what you're passionate about. Right? Where does skill and luck get involved?
Well, skill certainly, which to some extent there's some stock of skill or aptitude that you're born with, and then it's about developing it. I probably, if I'd chosen to be a musician, I guess that even intensive hard work, I wouldn't have ever been that gifted a musician. There are certain things, but as long as you choose something that you have a reasonable natural aptitude to, I think skill is something you develop through hard work and through honest analysis with mentors about the causes of success and failure, because often our own ideas are warped. So I think mentors play a very important role in my life in really having an honest assessment and analysis of success and failure and what the learnings are. Without them, we would have been way off course to where I am today. Luck is also a major factor, and I can point to many cases of odd circumstance, happenstance, serendipity, good and bad. But I think that those you get dealt different hands, and some of them are going to be unusually strong, and some of them are going to be unusually weak. But the person who plays them kind of well, again, that goes to me ultimately, to hard work and learning with each cycle of the game, that you'll be able to win more hands than someone otherwise would, knowing the variability. So being prepared to seize on the good luck, the serendipity when it happens. I mean, that ultimately that's related to, goes back to, again, dedication, hard work, the passion. Oftentimes you're at a moment where a new opportunity, an unexpected opportunity presents itself, you're bogged down with execution on whatever crises or achievements you're in the middle of, but that's where you say redouble your efforts and say, but we gotta somehow try to see if there's something here, because this could be big for us. And so whereas the temptation is I can't think of one more thing to engage in and to put my kind of intellectual and physical capabilities into exploring. They say, look, that was a lucky break, but only with some work are we going to be able to explore it.